This is the Godox RS60R, and this light has impressed me in literally every way. I've never had a light quite like it. It is so incredibly versatile. It can adapt and become whatever you need it to be, and it can be used in so many different ways. For full transparency, Godox did send me this kit, but they do not get any input on the video whatsoever, and my thoughts are my own. Speaking of the kit, here's what comes in the box. You get 2 lights, 2 lens reflectors, 2 mains power adapters, 2 batteries, barn doors, a snoot, a magnetic bulb diffuser, a whole stack of filters, a zoom lens, a collapsible diffusion dome, 2 light stand adapters, 2 mains power cords, 2 80cm USB-C cables, a parabolic softbox, and the box that comes with it. Let's start off with the light. This thing is tiny, bare bones, about the size of a Coke can. Even with a lens reflector and a battery attached, this thing is still tiny. It features an LCD screen to get through the menu system, 2 physical buttons, and a clickable scroll wheel. You can use the mode and menu buttons to go through everything this light has to offer, and then you can use that scroll wheel to dial in your desired settings. And using that scroll wheel, you can change this light in 0.1% increments, which is lovely. Then there's the on and off switch on the other side, as well as the 2 latches for switching out attachments and power options. And speaking of that, this light might be one of the greatest of all time when it comes to power options. On the body itself, you can power it via USB-C cable, so with nothing attached, worst case scenario, you've forgotten everything else, you can still power this light. Then we get to the mains attachment. This attachment can also be powered by USB-C and by plugging it into the wall via the included power cable, if you're looking for a constant power source to just leave this light running for as long as you want. But on top of that, while not included in this particular kit, you can get the light bulb attachment and plug this into any standard light socket. So you can put this on any lamp and it's just amazing. So if you want a nice practical light that you have full control over, this gives you the option for that as well. And then you have the included battery attachments, and I don't know what they put into these battery attachments because they last forever. I'll be filming with them, and then once I'm finished filming, I'll forget to turn them off, I'll start my edit, and hours later they will finally die, and I realize, oh, the room got a lot darker. What was that? And then I realized I forgot to charge the battery on these things and actually turn them off like 4 hours later. And that is so impressive to me. Same thing happens when I just put this light around the apartment at night to just brighten things up. I just leave it in a corner, forget that it's there, and then suddenly like 5 hours later, the room goes dark. And then I realize, oh, right, it was running on battery. It wasn't plugged in. And I'm just like, oh my god, the fact that it's been running that long is so impressive to me. That LCD screen will show you in real time what the estimated battery life is in hours and minutes based off your current output, which is super handy because then you're not left in the dark and wondering, is it gonna die soon? You have a pretty good estimate right there. The back of the batteries have a 5 light indicator on them, so you can get a rough estimate in 20% increments. And there's a USB-C port on the back that you can charge them with, either attached to the light, while running, or completely detached from the light so you can swap batteries with ease. There is an additional power attachment you can get for this, the NPF battery plate, and this just gives you even more versatility to put on your NPF batteries, and you can just let this run for as long as you want, depending on how big your battery is. It's just really nice that there are so many good options to power a light like this. I love when lights have great power options as well as internal batteries, but this seems to be the best solution I've come across after reviewing a ton of different lights. Now, let's talk modifiers. Again, when a new small light comes out with its own proprietary mount, I'm always a little bit skeptical. I've found that lights usually live and die by the modifiers available at launch. Otherwise, it just really doesn't serve a purpose. And I think Godox got that memo because included in this kit are a ton of different modifiers for every possible scenario. The lens reflectors are great for just splashing a bright beam of light. One of my favorites is this magnetic bulb diffuser. Makes for a great area light for ambience, lifting the overall brightness of a room, being put in the background as a nice little lamp, or shooting some soft light onto me as an edge light right now. You have the entire magnetic kit to get your desired effect via filters, a snoot for a narrow focus beam, barn doors to cut the light as you see fit and limit spill. You have the zoom lens, which acts as a nice Fresnel, so you can dial in your desired beam angle. There's the collapsible diffusion dome, which is like the bulb diffuser, but even bigger and more versatile. I think out of the box, this is probably the one I would use the most for lighting a subject, just because I love the way it looks, the fact that you can get different looks based on how you collapse it. You can use it to light an area up, or use it as a key light. I really love the versatility of it. And last but not least, or maybe least, a parabolic softbox. And usually I'm a sucker for good parabolic softboxes, but This one is one of those old ones with the rods that you have to manually put in, and I cannot tell you how frustrating it is for me. Putting this thing together, I hurt my hands multiple times, and this thing is just so frustrating to me, and after all that time and effort, it didn't even come out perfectly, and I, for the love of God, cannot get this thing to fit in properly. So this is the parallel softbox you are getting in this video. It's not my favorite. I really wish they would have included an easily collapsible one, because that's what the industry is doing and that's what a lot of people are accustomed to. But yeah, this one is kind of, you set it up and you never want to take it apart again because it's just such a nightmare to put up and take down. It is really not movable, accessible, transportable. This thing is just like, you set it up once and it's a one and done. And because this is such a small softbox, you're not even getting the most soft, flattering light. So that's why I prefer to use either the magnetic dome diffuser or that big collapsible dome diffuser, because they're just easier, more accessible, smaller, and if you're traveling, way better. Now, initially I was really bummed that Godox doesn't seem to sell some sort of Bowens mount adapter for this light. But I think it makes sense because this light is so small and so tiny. Putting an adapter onto this and then putting a big modifier would probably damage the light. So I can't fault them for that. However, I realize you can actually mount this in their flash Bowens mount adapters, so you can use Bowens mount with this light if you have the flash adapters, which is just like a friction hold on this light. And I think that makes perfect sense because you're not putting any stress on the light or its appendages and you're not gonna break it. So you can take this tiny 60-watt light and use big modifiers like this 90-centimeter softbox. And Godox also sells a bunch of other modifiers for this light, like this massive beam reflector, a lantern, a square softbox, another smaller reflector, you name it. And one of the other amazing attachments they sell for this light is a projector lens, coming in flavors of 36 and 50mm lenses. I opted for the 36mm variant, and before I got it in my hand, I wasn't expecting much, I'm not gonna lie. But man, was I wrong. This thing is solid, like really solid. Built out of full metal, featuring 4 cutters, a gobo holder, and a 360-degree rotating body with the ability to focus and defocus the image. You can mount it to a light stand via the projector lens for much better weight distribution. And if you have both lenses and you want to swap between them, you can use the camera-like lens swapping system. This thing is great for shaping light, creating interesting effects or backgrounds. You've actually been seeing it this whole time through this video and my other recent videos on the background right there. Let's talk fan noise, because usually small lights like this with really high output either have really loud fans or fans that don't actually cool it enough and lead to overheating issues. I'm happy to report I haven't had any overheating issues with either of the lights I've had, but let's get to some fan noise tests. In an environment like this with the light slightly far away from you, you're not gonna have any issue whatsoever. If it is right next to the microphone for whatever reason, you might get a little bit of a whir, and as you increase the output, you're gonna get more of that fan noise. But I think the fan noise is very respectable for what it is, and it doesn't annoy me in my everyday filming at all. Now, this light comes in 2 flavors, bicolor and RGB. I have the RGB version here, so just another W for versatility because it opens up way more options and creativity. Because not only are you getting that beautiful warm and cool light with a TLCI and CRI of 95, which is really high by the way, you're also getting the ability and versatility of color in this light. Whether that adds a nice mood to your scene, or you're using it as a nice rim light, or you just want to drench something in color, you have that option with this. Now this light also comes in 2 different variations, MS and RS. And there's a huge price difference between the two, but not something that a lot of people are going to realize or care about. The main difference between these lights is that the MS version is the more professional version. Not only do you get more in the kit, but it also has the more professional features of DMX and CRMX. And if you don't know what that is, it probably doesn't matter to you and you should just get the cheaper version because that's who that light is targeted at. But if you do care about that kind of thing, CMX, DRMX, that means if you're on a light stage, if you're doing a huge production with hundreds or thousands of lights and you want to control something all in one system, this is kind of essential, and this is the professional feature you're looking for. So it comes with that kind of receiver in it if you want to have a huge production with full control over all your lights. But if you're a smaller creator like me and only need 1, 2, maybe 3 lights, The app is more than good enough because it has a lot of great features in it, and you don't need like the full production scale version of these lights. It's really nice that they have both of these options because then it caters to the professional who needs all that high-end production version of it, but then it also caters to the smaller creator who doesn't need all of that, and you're getting the same quality light just at a cheaper price. So what are my overall thoughts on these lights? Honestly, I think these might just be one of the most innovative lights on the market right now. It is genuinely so impressive to me how well thought out these lights are. It addresses so many pain points that creatives face: the versatility, the portability, the power. The fact that this tiny light is 60 watts is crazy to me. Like, I remember my first ever light, the legendary Godox SL60W, and that thing was a big chungus and it wasn't the highest quality light, but it worked. And now we have something that's way smaller, way more compact, with way more power options, with significantly higher quality of light and RGB in a much smaller package with all of these attachments included. That is mad impressive. That's just where we are now with the lighting industry, and I'm so happy because this thing is as comfortable being a key light as it is a rim light, a background light, or any other kind of light for that matter. The possibilities truly feel endless with this light, and I am mad impressed. But as always, I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section down below. My name is Mark Steiner, and I will see you next time.